If you're here at this video, you already know how to solve the cross and are making some good progress. Now our next step is to orient these four corners in their correct places and completely solve this first layer. Okay, now if you learned the 1B cross that is at the bottom, keep it at top. If you're using the original method I taught you, you're good to go. Now this part is a little tricky, but it's a pretty simple concept. What we do is look for a white piece. Okay, right here. So now we see the three colors are white, blue, and orange. Now what we do is look in the faces that are not the bottom, just these three, okay? So that is green, red, and white, okay? So that does not match up with these three. And by the way, just to mention, all the corners that you do choose have white on them because that's where they have to go, on the top layer, okay? So then what we do is rotate it and see if it works now. Blue, orange, white, blue, red, white. So that doesn't work either. Rotate it again, and now we can see blue, orange, white, blue, orange, white. So this does work. Now we can perform a really simple algorithm to get this right over here where it's supposed to go. Pay attention. It is R prime, D prime, R, D. So now it is over here. Now, it may take once, twice, or up to 5 times to do this, okay? But as long as it's oriented correctly where it's supposed to go, it will line up properly. Now, okay, over here. This is a good example of how it might take more turns. So, it's white, blue, and red, white, blue, and red. So that's actually kind of coincidental. It's 4th of July, and yeah. So, anyways, they do match up though. So what we do is perform that algorithm, R prime, D prime, R, D. Now if you notice, it didn't get straight to the top. Now it's over here. So we have to repeat it. In this case, since the white was on the left, you don't have to know this, but it takes more turns than any other. So now we have a white piece here, but that is not what we need because they don't match up correctly. So we have to continue with the algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, and D. And now, as you may have noticed, this piece is now correctly oriented, and the one we previously solved is not messed up either, right here. Okay? So, as you may see, after you do 2 corners, you'll have a T, which is our objective for the whole first layer when it's completed. Okay? So next is when you have it at the bottom. It's no different. Green, orange, white. Green, orange, white. Okay? So we perform the same algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, and D. Okay? So now we have these 3 corners completely correctly oriented. Now we look for our last piece, which is right here. Red, green, white. Red, green, white. Okay? Now perform it. R prime, D prime, R, D. R prime, D prime, R, D. R prime, D prime, R, D. Okay? Now you should have the whole first layer done and have a T on each side. Okay? Now, if you have this situation where, hold on, let me get to it. Okay, where it's here, for example. If it's oriented correctly, you have nothing to worry about. Just continue with the algorithm, R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, D prime, R, D. But if it's not oriented correctly, which, let me give a good example. Okay, so now this piece is over here, okay? So if we did this algorithm, this piece would be here, and since it's not oriented correctly, it's white, green, orange, and white, blue, orange, you would have to perform that algorithm to get it on the bottom face, the down face. So now this was our same piece, okay? So now we can easily solve it how we did before. Green, orange, white. green, orange, white. So r prime d prime r d, r prime d prime r d, r prime d prime r, r d. And now the remaining piece, since this is oriented correctly, we have nothing to worry about. R prime d prime r d, r prime d prime r d, and you get it until you solve it, which is right here. And now you should have completely solved first layer and the t's as I just mentioned previously. Hope you get this. If you don't, please watch this video again and rate and put comments on the bottom to see any questions you have. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can.